Why does every post have that one building everyone knows is a safety nightmare? Building 847. 3 stories of crumbling concrete from the 1950s. Everyone called it the death trap. Cracked foundation, rusted pipes, electrical wiring that sparked when it rained. Command knew it was dangerous, kept promising renovations. Year after year, nothing happened. Meanwhile, we kept working there daily. I was assigned to the supply office on the second floor. My desk sat directly under a water stain the size of a dinner table. Brownish yellow, growing bigger every month. Private Dalton worked across from me. Kid from Oregon, always nervous about something. He'd stare at that ceiling stain during lunch breaks. That's gonna fall on us one day, he'd say, pointing at the bulging plaster. Command says the building's been inspected. Structurally sound, I tell him, not believing my own words. The inspections were a joke. Some contractor would walk through once a year, check a few boxes, collect his paycheck. Never actually fixed anything. Sergeant Vaughn ran our office. 15 years in, seen everything. He'd submitted maintenance requests for 2 years straight. Every single one got denied due to budget constraints. Just stay alert, he'd tell us. If you hear creaking or see new cracks, evacuate immediately. Great advice for a building we spent 40 hours a week inside. The warning signs started small. Ceiling tiles falling randomly. Door frames no longer square. That weird smell of mold mixed with electrical burning. Dalton brought a helmet to work one day. An actual Kevlar helmet. Wore it at his desk like we were in a combat zone. Better safe than sorry, he said when everyone laughed. Vaughn didn't make him take it off. That should have told us something. Tuesday afternoon around 3 o'clock. I was processing inventory sheets. Dalton was typing reports. Normal, boring day. That's when I heard it. A deep groaning sound from above. Like the building itself was sighing. Looked up. That water stain was dripping now. Not just moisture. Actual chunks of wet plaster falling onto my keyboard. Everyone out. Now! Vaughn's voice cut through the office. Not yelling, just firm and commanding. We grabbed nothing. Just stood up and moved toward the stairs. The groaning got louder. The whole ceiling was bowing downward, sagging like a hammock. We made it to the stairwell when the collapse started. Sounded like thunder mixed with breaking glass. The entire second floor ceiling caved into our office. Took the desks, computers, filing cabinets, everything. Thousands of pounds of concrete and steel crashing down where we'd been sitting 30 seconds earlier. We stood in the parking lot watching dust pour from the broken windows. Fire trucks arrived. Structural engineers, base commander personally showed up. The engineers condemned the entire building within an hour. Said it was a miracle nobody died. The water damage had rotted the support beams over decades. One more day and the collapse might have happened during night shift when 20 people were inside. Dalton still wore his helmet. Looked at Vaughn and said, "Told you it was dangerous." Vaughn just nodded. "Yeah, kid, you did." Investigation revealed that the annual inspections had been falsified for 6 years. The contractor never actually examined the structural integrity, just copied previous reports and changed the dates. That contractor got federal charges, lost his license and his company. Turned out he'd been doing the same scam at 8 different military installations. Command finally allocated emergency funding, demolished building 847 within 2 weeks. Fastest I'd ever seen the military move on anything. But here's what nobody expected. During demolition, they found something inside the walls. Sealed metal boxes, dozens of them hidden in the ceiling spaces. Korean War era documents, classified until 2003 but never properly archived. Battle plans, intelligence reports, personnel records, stuff that should have been in the National Archives for 20 years. Historians went crazy. These documents filled gaps in Korean War history, explained decisions that never made sense, named soldiers who'd been listed as unknown. One box contained letters written by POWs that were never delivered to families. Some of those families had been waiting 70 years for closure. The base historian, this civilian named Sterling Pierce, spent 6 months cataloging everything. He tracked down 12 families who finally learned what happened to their loved ones. One family lived 3 hours away. Their grandfather had been MIA since 1951. The letters explained he died in a POW camp, but had written about his family every day until the end. They held a proper funeral 73 years late. Full military honors, folded flag, 21 gun salute. Sterling gave the eulogy. Said, "Sometimes buildings have to fall apart before we find what they've been protecting." Dalton got a commendation for his safety awareness. Command tried to make it a joke, calling it the Helmet Initiative, but Vaughn shut that down fast. That kid took safety seriously when nobody else did. That's not a joke. That's leadership. They built a new supply building within 8 months. Modern, up to code, actually safe. Named it after one of the Korean War soldiers whose letters were found. On the dedication plaque, they listed all the documents recovered from building 847. Called it the archive that wouldn't die. I still work supply. Different building now, but same job. Dalton got promoted, transferred to another base. Heard he still wears that helmet occasionally just to make a point. Vaughn retired last year. At his ceremony, he told the whole story. Ended by saying, "Listen to your nervous privates. Sometimes they're the only ones paying attention." The families who got those letters, 3 of them donated to a memorial fund. Built a small monument outside the new building. It's just a stone bench with a bronze plaque. Lists the names of the Korean War soldiers whose final words came home 7 decades late. I eat lunch there sometimes. Think about how a condemned building nobody wanted to fix ended up giving 12 families the closure they'd been waiting for since 1951.